Hi guys, I'm Ram Agarwal. You are watching my channel 52 Pixels. Let's get started. Hi guys, in this tutorial we are going to see how to bend the shadows using Photoshop. So basically, what bending shadows actually means. Well, if you have seen, if some image is stuck on a piece of paper or maybe in an album, and when that album is kind of like little folded, you can see a shadow of the image which is stuck on the album. So that shadow, it looks like some convex shape, and maybe you can just like imagine that how bent shadow would look like. So it's like a curved shadow, more like a convex shape. It's because the paper or the album is bended and the image is still upright, it's still intact, it's still straight. So let's see how to bend the shadow using Photoshop using this image. So to start with, what we are going to do is just I'll name this layer first. So I'll name it as shoes. Now what we are going to do is just add a new layer, and I'll call this layer as background. So what I'm going to do is just drag this background layer underneath the shoes layer. And now working with the shoes layer, what I'm going to do is just go to crop tool, and there's this option called as content aware, which might be selected by default in yours. So just turn this off. So basically, as you've seen already, content aware, what it does is basically it just expands the image. So if I just turn on the content aware, what will happen is just if I expand this image like this, instead of getting this transparent background, what I'll get is the expanded version of this image. It will just intelligently expand my image. But I don't want to expand my image, I want a frame. So instead of copying this image and then pasting it on other sheet, what we can do is just turn off this content aware and then expand your image so it looks somewhat like this, and then you can just place your image in the center. So I guess that's the center. And if I just click on OK, as you can see, nothing else has happened to my image. Just the thing is that I've got this transparent background which I can work with later. So my transparent background has come from here. If I didn't add this layer, it would have come as white by default, but I don't want a white background like embedded with this image. I want a separate background and a separate image, because this is my album, this transparent portion is my album, or the sheet, and this image is the image that is going to be stuck on the sheet. So they need to be different two layers. So working with this background layer now, what I'm going to do is just go to edit, go to fill, and fill it with white color. So as soon as I click on OK, as you can see, the background has turned into white and it looks like a frame already. Now what we are going to do is go to shoes layer back again, and using this FX icon, we are going to go to drop shadows, where we are going to work with shadows. So I want my angle of shadow to be 90 degrees. So I'll type in 90 degrees because it's too hectic to just, drag the shadow and drag the angle tool and just do it. So my distance is 24, spread is pretty much 32, size is 38. I just want a big shadow basically, so it would look like this. Anyway, so my size is 106 for the time being, and also the distance is a little bit more, somewhat like 40, and the spread is also more. So as you can see, I've got a nice thick shadow that I could work with, and that's basically what we want, because I need a thick shadow, right? I just need a shadow that shows that my object is over the background, it's over the main sheet. So for now I'll just click on OK, and I've got my shadow. So as we learned in previous tutorial, what we can do is just make the shadow layer into a different layer. Instead of just making this a combined layer, I can just right click on drop shadow, and there's this option called as create layer. I'll click on create layer and OK. So as you can see, I've got a different layer for my shadow. So I can just turn it on and off, or I can just change the position and do whatever I want with the shadow. So I'll take it to its original place and turn the visibility on. Now working with the shadow layer, I'll go to edit, and there's this option called as transform, where I'll select warp. So what warp will actually do, I'll just demonstrate. So if I just take these points outside of the image, as you can see, my shadow is getting bent in this direction, and it looks like the paper is folding inwards and my image is over the paper. But what if I want to show that the sheet is folding outwards and the image is on the sheet? What I'll have to do is just drag these, and I'll just press Ctrl C. What I'll do is just drag one of these and make it slightly just like this. So as you can see, I have bent the shadow, and I can just drag this out as well. So it will look like this. For some people it might definitely look over edited, but then that's what we require currently. It's like not over editing, but then I want to demonstrate to you how it would look. So I'm for this tutorial, just understand that it's for the demonstration purpose, but once you start doing it on your own self, you have to make it look little subtle, and it should look not edited. It should look natural. So it should somewhat look like this. I'll press enter. So as you can see, this is the shadow that we have bent right now using the warp tool, and of course the shadow. So well, that's it for today guys. Hope you liked the video. Make sure you subscribe to 52 pixels and tap on the bell icon to get notified. Thank you.